The lodge was just recently rebuilt over here. We're still staying in tents. So they're like, well, while I have my tools out, you know what I should probably build? Some cabins.
Yes. In the Great War of dinosaurs versus robots, all of the cabins were destroyed. The dinosaurs, they wanted to stay inside and be warm, so they made all the kids sleep outside. Again, totalitarian rule. Okay, so the cabins were all destroyed because the dinosaurs were so big. So
they would like step on them, bam, no more cabin.
Yeah, and obviously metal and wood, nah. So
if you ever played Pokemon, you know that nature and wood do not mix. Steel and nature do not mix. So they're like, we're gonna build some cabins. Those cabins though, kind of falling apart. I believe, and don't quote me on this, those cabins are Nemo, Grey Wolf, Untaman, Beulah. I think. That feels wrong, but I think it also feels right. Or even at least, what was it first?
This is real history.
We're trying to figure out real history.
No.
I feel like it's
not this
Nemo.
week.
I know it's Nemo.
I feel like it might be more like Nemo,
I think that's more correct, yeah. I think it's like Nemo, Beulah, Lavinia. I want to say some overflow ones too for some reason. Oh, I think so.
Okay. So they built our lovely cabins. Nemo, Beulah, Lavinia. You can see now that our new camp director was very much team girl. No boy cabins.
Yeah. But they also in this age, this is actually true, would average around like 50 campers a week at their maximum. Most of the weeks were like 30 kids. There were not a lot of kids.
which works really well considering 3 or 4 cabins.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? We're in the 70s. I'm skipping ahead because I got bored.
Groovy.
Isn't that groovy? Everyone say groovy. Groovy.
Let's go. Okay.
So, disco fever hits camp. But this is also unfortunately real fever, causing the establishment of the health center.
Before this, the campers just had to figure it out. Now, because of disco fever, kids could not stop dancing, so we needed the health center to lock them down.
They also invented the camp dance on Thursday nights to keep all that dancing contained.
Yes, the Cotton Eye Joe is a symptom of disco fever. Also the wobble and electric slide, they're all Camp Roger
And the
originals.
Drolead.
And the Drolead. All of those songs were written by people who went to Camp Roger. Yeah, and the Macarena. We have international staff here, you know?
Also the one that goes, gorilla, 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 gorilla.
Manos arriba, manos abajo,
Gorilla, gorilla, gorilla.
You guys will see.
It's my favorite part of the week now. So yeah, disco fever, pretty not good.
And also, the newest member of the songs to join us has been Chapel Roan with Hot to Go.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Camp is awesome, it doesn't explode.
Yeah, it
But
does.
then, it does explode. In popularity, 1980 something. Some kids in Hawkins are messing around with some stuff they do not understand.
And this is the part of the story where we tell you that we've secretly been living in the Upside Down. This is the Upside Down. Surprise. Camp Roger is an outpost between...
This is 11.
Yes.
And she uses her mind control powers, I've never seen the show, to convince the masses that camp is fun.
Uh-huh.
She's right, she just lets them know.
Yeah, she's like... So 11 is like Professor X here. Do you know the X-Men, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also says we need about 11 million more cabins.
Yes,
So
she
we build
did.
some more.
So, 11 using Professor X style powers convince people to come to camp and make more cabins. This is good news for you boys, because these are the boys' cabins. Woo! Yeah!
But she was like, I'm gonna get a little creative with some of these. some cabins look really different from each other. That's why. Sometimes they said, let's not put walls in this one. Sometimes they said, let's add a carpet.
Our cabins are like steel.
Yeah. And you know that like stone thing? That is a cabin if there's too many people. It's like overflow. So you will sleep outside on that concrete thing if there's too many kids.
And the rest of your cabin mates, that's right, robots.
Yes.
History of Camp Rogers doing very well and should be happening every weekend.
Except for all of us here without robots.
Hey guys,
So they,
sorry.
Everyone smile and say, yay, history.
or don't do that.
Don't say yay history. Don't say yay history.
Oh, I forgot what's upside
You
down.
can
That's how
see-
we know they're not robots.
You can see that Fidel is a robot. Look at his hand. See? Proof.
He used to be the STEM specialist, that's why he's a robot.
Yep. All STEM specialists are part robot.
Except for Tristan, who is all robot.
It was all robot. That's why they're wearing a Milhollow shirt, because no human being would choose to wear a Milhollow shirt.
Boo.
Boo!
That's right. Remember how they're, say it with me now.
Among Us.
It is very substantive. Oh, it's real. So, we have all these beautiful snowflake cabins now. What's up?
Kids build hollow pits to get Roger to the trouble.
Yes.
Yes, it happens later. But so these cabins, they're like 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes. How do you draw upside down?
Is one of them Grey Wolf?
Yes. Cabin 7. Grey Wolf. Bam. Now you're in the story. What's your name? Toby?
Now, notably,
Tommy.
No, not.
This is where Tommy comes in.
so notably, they were working on building cabin 11 at this time, but they were still figuring out the spelling of Tukaniki box.
Yes.
They tried a lot of things. They tried 2 cats in a box. Didn't roll off the tongue very well.
They tried 2 keys with knees and more keys and bats.
They just tried bots one year. That was weird. But then they hit it. That's right. Lavinia too. And then everyone said, no, that's too confusing. They said, fine, it can be 2 Kaniki bots.
Yep. Too cute. See, this is confusing. And then
2 cats in a box?
light bulb moment. I don't know how to spell Tukaniki bots, so I will not be trying.
T-H-U. Say whatever letters you want here. L-Q-R-O-P V-R-F-A-Y. Number 9.
And then, so these are still around today, but descendants of the early dinosaurs invaded Tukaniki bots.
No! Everybody say boo dinosaurs.
You'll notice that Tukaniki box is not in use this week. It's still in repair.
That is because the dinosaurs are in there.
We're battling them. Grace is being very brave. That's why we put the STEM specialist in there, because she has to be brave.
Because she's also part robot.
Can I go see the dinosaurs?
No, because if you did, if any child they come into contact with, they put under totalitarian rule. So no kids are allowed near Tukaniki box.
That's true. That's why that happened.
What is Tukaniki box?
Tukaniki box is the cabin down that way. You know, like how we've got like Uray, we got like the bathroom, Grey Wolf, Diminogus, Uray. You go a little bit further, Tukaniki box.
And sometimes, if you listen closely at night, you can hear sounds coming from Tuku whatever. Because
Tuku-yi.
Grace is actively fighting the dinosaurs' descendants. She's so brave.
And notably, if you listen really closely, you might hear like beeps and boops, because that's also where Grace like charges.
Yeah. So Grace is fighting and charging at the same time because she's a legend.
This is the wheel that sometimes she has underneath, and that's her cord.
And you have to include the mask, because
She wears a mask because her jaw plate fell off recently, and you can see all the wiring, and that's really suspicious. You can't know that Grace is a robot.
Yeah. Your parents would not send you here if they knew there were dinosaurs and robots. So,
so is there a third marker?
Wait,
What?
can be.
What if we tell them that?
don't.
I will.
What's up?
What are the aliens?
That's right. We were gonna come back to that. Do you remember that creepy little triangle from earlier? That's right. The whole time, it was aliens.
Uh-huh.
You thought there were normal campers here? No. The whole time they've been only aliens. That's why 11 got involved. Again, I've never seen Stranger Things.
Do you know, there's like, the bugs here at Camp Roger are so big. That's because they are aliens. And they all live in this little hut right here. So, they're so sneaky, they don't see them. They live there. What's up?
I thought my counselor told me that it was the old entrance to this dance club.
Yeah, it's the old entrance because the alien bugs took over.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
aliens went there.
Yeah, that's why we need STEM specialists because they're the ones that make new robots because aliens are in the triangle.
So it's where we stored the robots, and that's why aliens wanted to go there specifically, because they wanted to see how the robots were built.
Yes.
Obviously.
We should draw a little thing connecting that to the staff lab.
Yes.
We don't
I
have
have the stuff on right here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, isn't it awesome? This looks awesome. Do you guys think people are going to come look at this later and go, wow, that's the history of Camp Roger, and that makes sense?
What about the Bigfoot?
That's right.
That's right. Now that aliens are here.
2006. The only notable thing that happened that year.
the only notable thing.
What day? 2006?
We see
January 6th, we see the first signs of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
July 7th, we see him for the first time. July 22nd, we come up with a name.
Oh yeah. So, you know that old photo of Bigfoot, and he's like posing like this? Not taken in the mountains, not taken in the desert, whatever. I don't know what the picture looks like. I can't remember. It was taken here.
Look, that's his Bigfoot.
Mhm.
We
One
hunt
big
for
foot.
him sometimes.
Would have been big feet otherwise, but it's only one big foot.
If
Obviously.
you've ever been to Camp Roger before, you know we have Bigfoot hunting here. And you also know that that Bigfoot's palms are different colors and they leave residue.
They are blue.
And why are they blue? Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. He's so chilly. Chilly.
You need a jacket. You should give him a jacket.
We're trying, but he won't. He's so scared he won't let us get near it.
Also don't
Now
have
you
big
may be asking yourself, what about Beaver Pond?
What about Beaver Pond?
That's right, we used to fish there in around 2006, if you would have known this. However, we sent a crew out to go fishing one day. And guess what? We sent a whole crew, and their ship did sink.
And you will too.
You don't take?
I'm braiding bamboo. Princess Pat.
So we replaced fishing with arts and crafts, so you could all help make the rigger bamboo with your camp spirit. So we don't sink anymore.
Which brings us to the art shed.
Arts and crafts coming.
You may notice the awesome signatures in the art shed. Some of them from robots, some of them from dinosaurs,
Some of them from a jelly bean.
occasionally from Sunny.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Everybody, what's your favorite signature in the arts and crafts shed?
Tyson.
Tyson's is really good. Do you have favorites?
My favorite is Jellybean.
The big truck?
I'm not going
The big
back.
croc, I like that. I love I'm Not Going Back. Trust me.
Jellybean.
Jelly beans is very good.
What's your favorite?
There's so many good ones.
What is your favorite? Horse. Horse.
I like the Grinch one.
What made it good?
That's what the Grinch looks like. Yeah. Don't we all love the signatures in the arts and crafts shed?
Yes.
Isn't that a beautiful part of the history of Camp Roger?
It's a
They're all
signature.
magical boards. That's right. They're keeping the wizards out.
Have you ever
You
heard
might
of
be
Dungeons
thinking,
and Dragons?
what about England? What about Harry Potter? Huh? What's he doing during all this? What about Moose Mountain? Excellent thing to come back to.
So, 11 in 1980s stepped in, but Harry Potter in the early 2000s/late 90s. What was he doing for Camp Roger? Like our great president said, it's not what Camp Roger can do for you, it's what you can do for Camp Roger. Yes.
Obviously. So, the wizards attack.
Put that quote up.
Now it's around 2000. What's 15 years ago?
Wait, the wizards attacked?
2000.
The wizards
Around 2009. And we only had one hope. That's right. Mitch Holt.
Oh my God, that is-
Later called Mitch.
We got this man.
There's his mustache.
And this Lucas become a counselor?
He defeats the wizards. Howard?
When does Lucas become a counselor?
Last week.
No.
And how does he have so many dog tags?
Wait, what's the question?
How does he have so many dog tags?
How does he have so many?
Yeah.
This is his 15th year here.
Yeah, that's right. Mitch, 2009. His first year. This is true. You can ask him. He takes over. He defeats the wizards.
Notably, we occasionally still have a Wizarding World Week.
We have to have one
honor
every
Mitch.
3 or so years to honor Mitch.
Yes. Guys, we're so
Notably,
big.
every three or so years, because Mitch one time took a 3-year break from camp.
Yeah. And we were shaking in our boots the whole time thinking the wizards would come back. But they
And they
were
did.
still so scared of Mitch's aura that they did not.
We even had a Wizarding World Week where an event so special happened it was never recreated. Sunny and Taylor were in a cabin together.
Yeah!
I'm Sunny.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Taylor.
We were in a cabin together.
Yeah!
Okay. So, I'm just gonna add offshoot
Obviously.
Sunny.
This all makes sense, right? This reads very well.
There is a test after this.
Yes. This makes a lot of sense. Wait, what? This makes all the sense. You will be tested, and you will earn a dog tag based on your knowledge.
Really?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be the rainbow dog tag. I'm kidding.
No, but like, I'll get them one. I'll get them something.
Okay.
Carve something.
Our first dog tag? Well, can I at least get a dog tag chain because I don't have one?
Yes. We can get you all dog tag chains for attending this.
That's us.
Wow. So we honor Mitch in Wizarding World Week. Then a few years later, guess what happens? A new challenger has entered. A new camp icon.
Me.
That's right. Catherine.
Ah.
Ah.
Now, Catherine started off here as just a lowly camper like yourself.
And Beulah.
Beulah, but she soon made her way up the ranks and became the first counselor at 10 years old. The first counselor to be matured at 10 to head a cabin of 14-year-olds. Let's go, Kate.
Yay.
Kate's still here, and believe it or not, it was her 16th birthday yesterday. So if you see Kate, wish her a happy 16th birthday.
That's why she wasn't here like the first couple days of the week.
She had to go get her driver's license.
Yep, she's a driver now.
Isn't that exciting? She's an
Wow.
inspiration.
Driven
She was
camp for
even
so
our
long.
counselor when we were like 20. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Kate does some wild stuff.
This
That's her
is
license, obviously.
Yes. Driver's license.
Alright. And then, thunder shakes the earth. That's
Ooh.
right. 11 years ago, everyone's favorite camp person joined. That's right. The totem. The totem pole.
The penguin.
That's right.
Right.
And it's going to be really self-indulgent for a moment.
Is that? Could it be, are the clouds going away?
Is the sun coming out?
Is it getting brighter in here by the moment?
Is it Jensen's?
Is it? It's a Jensen. It's a Jenny, which I bet I won't be. It's me. Everyone clap for me. Sunny, come gets kicked out 9 times.
Yeah.
But she knows where the back entrance is.
Sunny slept underneath the porch of kings for years until finally Kate and Mitch formed an unlikely alliance and allowed Sunny to finally sleep in Nebo. Woo!
It was a big day for me, I'm gonna be honest.
No,
You guys coming to
Sonny was
from
15 when they finally let her in.
We're coming back
That's
to
true.
it.
What are we coming back to?
Moose Mountain.
Oh yes, that's on our to return to list.
Yes. So,
If that was 11 years ago, what happened 10 years ago?
10 years ago!
yes.
Is that a Cohen? Is that a wait?
Cohen?
Right?
What?
I feel like we maybe shouldn't reveal last names. Give it a chance.
Wow.
Wow.
That's just as detailed and accurate as mine is.
Look. Wow. T-Money. That's me.
That doesn't look like Taylor.
That's Taylor.
That's
And also at
Tristan.
some point Tristan comes in.
Yes.
That's Tristan.
This is Tristan.
That's Taylor. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean,
Oh.
Taylor.
Tristan. That's
Wait,
me.
we need to add a year next to what year we all arrived.
What year did Taylor get here?
20. Oh. Tristan got here 2015.
My first year was 2014.
Wow, isn't that beautiful?
20.
And then guess what happened about 10 years later? That's right, you.
You.
You know what to do.
We're gonna play.
Wait, just keep.
You put the Y in YMCA. The Y stands for you. What's up?
We forgot the perfect part of this movie.
The what?
What did we forget?
We forgot the penguins.
The penguins. We did forget the penguins.
Hey.
Because that was last week.
So, and you were wondering where Moose Mountain was gonna come into this? Well, have you guys ever seen Jurassic Park?
Yes. And
Moose? Yes. Moose Mountain is an offset of Jurassic Park, but it only has penguins. Why? I don't know. The guy who created it, who might have been Roger, we are still unsure, really liked penguins. So, last week, the penguins, they came down from Moose Mountain. This is Moose Mountain. Look at the rocks. Okay.
The rocks.
So, they came down to Camp Roger in a horde. And remember how we mentioned that Grace wears a mask because her faceplate is broken? That's because her faceplate was ripped off by a penguin. Sad day, sad day. Who knew the penguins liked metal?
It should be noted, it's because of the penguins up there that we do the camp song all about penguins. Shout out Penguin Attention. We don't sing it anymore, but it does exist.
Yes, it does. And we had to pull it out last week to send the penguins away. So are any of you 12? Are any of you over 12? You're not. Okay, so none of you will go up Moose Mountain to see the penguins. But if you were 12, you'd see the penguins in their natural habitat. Make sure to ask all the 12-year-olds on camp tomorrow if they saw the penguins.
And if they said no, then someone wasn't paying attention.
Was it penguining attention?
Ha ha
Which is a
ha.
reference to, once again, the song Penguin Attention.
How does Lucas have so many dog tags if he became a counselor?
Well, that's what we're gonna get to next. How Lucas has so many dog tags.
Yeah, when did dog tags start?
Curly hair.
So, okay, now it's time to talk about Lucas. Okay, do you guys know what Mothman is?
Yes.
Okay, so,
No, I don't know what dog man is.
alright.
So Lucas is Walter.
Not quite.
Not
Mothman
you dog tags is because he is secretly Mothman. That's why. Mothman, do you guys know what a cryptid is? Okay, so Mothman, it's like this monster. It's like a giant moth slash man. How that happened? I don't know.
I know how to.
How did that happen?
And then, so what happened? And mom accidentally went in, and instead of
Yeah? Yeah. So that was joke history and national history. But yeah. So our joke history here at Camp Roger is that, do you guys remember the dinosaurs? You guys remember the dinosaurs? Well, an offshoot of the dinosaur, there's a specific dinosaur, its name is Mothra. So, Lucas, Mothra. So, Lucas and Mothra 100 years ago were fighting, but they fell through this tunnel, which they were fighting in the hollow because the hollow's cursed. They're fighting in
And
the
once again,
hollow.
say it with us now.
Milhollow is among us. So, Mothra and Lucas fell through this portal, and they came out. Suddenly, Mothman. But yes, what you said is totally correct. That's the real issue.
May I give him the dog tag from the council shirt, please?
Yeah. So, Lucas, with his special Mothman powers, can acquire many dog tags. And Lucas is also, say it with me now, immortal. Immortal.
50 dog tags.
Yeah.
Hi, Ellie.
Wait,
Guys, look, it's Ellie. The
Now,
acting
it's
grass
good to
counselor.
note
She
some-
guards all the wards against wizards. She guards. She keeps the arts and crafts shed, which is full of signals that fend off the wizards. She
Yes.
maintains that.
It should be noted with regards to Lucas, even though Lucas is Mothman, there are a lot of health risks about having Mothman here on camp. You can go up to Lucas and ask, he is lice free.
Okay, yes, Jonathan. Yeah? Jonathan's a fighter. This is our camp director, Roger.
Wow. Isn't it beautiful?
It's Roger.
So, see, we keep attracting people that want to be a part of the hilarious history of Camp Roger.
Yeah. Now, you might be asking yourself, why haven't we talked about your favorite part of the Camp Roger?
That's right. The
Yurts! They hold 28 campers each.
Why haven't we talked about Daniel
What? What were you talking about?
and Bastion?
Daniel and Bastion? They're next, don't worry.
I hear
I think
it.
I'm gonna go find the other whiteboard. So we can, should we go to the top?
Alright, so we've cabins 16 and 17 now.
Camp is growing too big. We have the aliens in here. We have the occasional dinosaur here, and we even have Mothman. And 11 was still convincing people to come to camp. So we had to expand. So, you guys might have heard of the leadership program. We have CITs. We have LITs. You guys are stars. What's up?
So my mom is 11.
What?
My mom is 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
More than likely.
So, we have CITs, LITs, rising stars. So, you might think that they're training to be counselors, but all of the counselors here are trained on how to fight dinosaurs. So,
They're trained on robot maintenance.
fighting dinosaurs and robot maintenance. So, in
But
these
only
yurts,
Mitch knows how to
there
use
is,
wizards.
in these yurts, there's the last remaining dinosaurs of Camp Roger in here that all of the leadership kids have to fight or they are not allowed to leave.
That is why only leadership kids who can beat a dinosaur can become counselors.
Yeah.
Every leadership kids here, pose like you defeated a dinosaur. Lucas defeated Mothman, which is like a different level and a different combat scenario. It's like comparing apples and oranges. It's really just nonsense.
Yes.
So, Lucas next year is going to start his dinosaur battle.
Yes.
He's gonna win.
He's going to win. Alright. And you might have asked yourself, did someone ask me something? I can't remember. Oops.
Oh, I'll ask you something.
What's your question? Yes.
It's not a question.
I love comments.
My pose would be dead in a dinosaur.
One more time.
My pose would be dead in a dinosaur.
I like that pose. Okay. So, Cam, we have all this lore. What do we do with it? That's right. Oh, yes, question?
When did dog tags start?
Dog tag started. Dog tag started without much fanfare in about 1943. Sorry, 1967 when we were open. Dog tag. It kind of just didn't matter, so we didn't do it.
Yeah, do you guys know what the first dog tag was?
It matters.
What do you think it was?
Honestly.
That's right, dinosaur dog tags.
That's right, I'm lying. So dog tags were a huge deal. 1967.
Yes.
Disco fever has not yet struck camp, so we do not have a med center.
No.
We kept telling campers to tough it out. They would say, my arm fell off, and we'd say, there's not a
And we would
prize.
say, oh no, there's another dinosaur coming.
Yeah.
What do we do?
And we'd say, wow, isn't fashion getting weird? I can't believe skirts are getting higher and boots are starting to get higher as well. My hair is so tall. I wonder what's happening at YMCA Camp Roger. That's 11's influence.
So, 1967, with the introduction of dog tags, we get Sebas and Daniel. They are here.
They were the original forgers of
Yes.
the dog tags.
They were in the mines because we couldn't use children anymore. So Sebas and Daniel were in the mines making the dog tags.
Adult labor.
Look, there they are.
Labor, the first
Sebas
time
and
on
Daniel.
camp in history, we had adult labor.
Yes. We actually still do child labor. As we know, Kate is 16 and is in charge of everything.
Yep. Anna, did you know that Kate just got her driver's license?
That's why she
That's
wasn't
why,
here.
that's why she wasn't here on Monday.
I thought she was still getting a learner's permit.
No, she turned 16.
Do you think it would be inappropriate to want to be like any circumstances that they need to cooperate in a story?
We can call us, I mean, they're the experts. I'll do it.
They're the experts.
Okay.
We should all
So-
make
If anyone is not busy, it's the least important thing in the world.
So yeah, so Sebas and Daniel were making the dog tags, but the reason we started giving it out is because kids were complaining too much. Again, what study said, arms were falling off, whatever.
Look,
You know?
they're everywhere.
Look, there's arms still, if you look hard enough, there's still fully human arms around Camp Roger.
That's a leg and an arm.
Yes. So, we started giving out dog tags to make it a little better. So, when parents got their children back and they were missing eyeballs, we could be like, look, we replaced them with caring dog tags.
And parents would go, ah, and they didn't even notice.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So,
Instead of an eye, I have an arm.
yeah. So, do you guys know what the Raggers program is? Anyway, okay, Jonathan, before I get into that.
I was getting dinosaurs. Also, did dinosaurs get still fever?
So, unfortunately, because that would have been really funny,
All right,
the dinosaurs
we
were
have a
already
special
at
guest.
the hall.
Over to
Oh, we have Kate herself.
Oh,
Everyone,
great!
Everybody
congratulations.
congratulate her driver's
Good
license.
job, good job.
Everyone wish her a happy 16th birthday!
It's a really big thing for me. I'm really excited.
Wait, come up
Can you
here.
talk a little bit about your experiences of becoming a counselor at age 10?
Yeah, so it was, so I started coming here when I was 9.
Yes.
Uh,
Only 1 year as a camper. It's incredible.
It's a pretty cool story. So I turned 9, and then came up to camp, and I was a little nervous at first, but then got up here and just had a blast, and all the activities had so much fun. And then I talked to the director at the time, her name was Amy.
Okay, saying we.
Sure. Whee! Talked to Amy and I said, hey, Amy, look, so I know I'm only 9, but I would love to work here. This is so awesome. And she said, you're turning 10 next year? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, great. I'll talk to HR, see what I can do. And then later that year, my mom got a phone call and they said, hey, we want Kate to come work in camp. So I started just as a counselor. I was in cabins, you know, all that. And then slowly kind of moved up the ladder. And now I'm here.
Can you speak to what being like in a cabin of 14-year-olds was like as a counselor at age 10?
Yeah, it definitely was. It for sure was weird because you know they were older than me, so why would they listen to me? But I just wore like all my counselor stuff, and I was like, I'm a counselor, you gotta listen. Sorry. And there was just that respect that they had because I started working when I was 10, so they knew. They knew.
We have another special guest.
This is Danny. Danny was actually one of the original inventors of the robots. He wrote some of
That's
our
true.
original blueprints that helped fight off the dinosaurs.
Yes.
So let's all give a round of applause to Danny as he comes up here and speaks.
Yeah, yay!
Take it away.
Talk about your experience of creating the robots. It's so interesting.
My experience creating the robots?
When you made to fight the dinosaurs.
What year was it?
I believe the early 1960s or 1952 was the girl.
That's right.
Yes, 1952, like, I still remember it as it was yesterday. There was
If you can take a step that way so you're in the view.
Oh, didn't break.
it was a long journey, and you know, we were all worried about the dinosaurs. We wanted to protect Cambodia as we love this place, and so we decided to create like robots, and yeah, that's how we started. It was like a crew of seven disciples.
Yeah.
It's history, it says so on the board.
It's good.
So it can't be a lie.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, Danny. We know
Thank you,
that World War Dino is hard for me to talk about, but thank you for talking.
Do you want to talk about the history of Braggers at all?
Yeah.
Oh yes, so you might notice this hidden little symbol over here
True.
from World War Camp.
World War Camp.
So Braggers was started during World War Camp. It was thanks to the amazing work of our field medics. They saw so many people like falling because of the Dino War. Not the Dino War, the
this was
Milhalla
Roger
War.
versus YMCA.
Yeah, Roger was
Yeah,
YMCA.
Roger versus the Y.
And so as Roger, it happened, this was in the Gaga Ball pit, because that's where the final battle was taking place. And our medics, they were running out of supplies to help our, the YMCA's team. And so what they had to resort to is they just ran to the kitchen and started grabbing random kitchen rags. And like someone would fall and they would like wrap their injury with the rag and say, hey, you may have fallen, you may not be injured and can't fight anymore, but you are special.
And you should pick more daisies.
And so that's how the Raggers started, and so it was basically field medics. And later, what it became was just it took over. It really exploded along with the disco fever. It sort of spread with that. Where are we here?
Disco fever's right here.
Right before the
Oh yeah, I gotta read through that. I'm missing.
to treat
I want to
disco.
see that you guys got it right.
Yeah.
Look
So
at 11.
much like the disco fever, Raggers started to spread like wild. As we said earlier, we started the camp dance to contain the disco fever to just Thursday night, and that's why the blue rag ceremony takes place right after blue rag, because by golly does it spread. And it infects a lot of new people, so we have the ceremony right after the dance.
Yes.
Question. Interesting. Is there a wasp in here? Or is it the robots telling you that there's a wasp?
Many of our insects on camp are robots as well.
They're actually
They're
aliens.
aliens.
They established earlier that they were aliens just to stop contradicting the war. Do you guys remember when they were bugs and aliens?
This is good.
We finally
Thanks for letting me
recorded.
share my story with you guys.
Wow.
Hope
Kate,
you learned
you're
a
a
lot.
hero. We don't have to call her though, because she didn't make any dinosaur robots. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or things you would like to add? Yes.
Is your monkey inside of a dome?
In a dome?
Yes, Moose
Yes.
Mountain. Even Jurassic Park, Moose Mountain. So, because it is a Jurassic Park just for penguins, what we see as Moose Mountain is not what's really there. They have put up a dome so we don't see the penguins / Jurassic Park. You can still hike it, but it's not gonna look like what you think it will. Look, guys.
Guys, as I was about to say, there's one final question you might be having, and that is, what is Jake? He leads it here, he's been doing it for a while, and we've always wondered, what is his connection? What's the Jake's connection to all of this? Well, Jake was there in the original World War camp. He was fighting alongside against Roger.
Wait, as part of the why?
As part of the Y.
Yeah, because
Against, he was
Jake
fighting
is-
alongside against Roger.
Jake is against child labor.
Notably, the fact that we still have chores is a callback. We still hold it special, though.
Yes.
Child labor has a place in all of our hearts. We had to wrangle Jake to
Of
shore.
course he was a fan of child labor.
Yes.
When Roger established camp, he's still out there. He's only 77.
Yeah.
But notably, it was Jake who got the final shot with the Gaga ball against Roger.
Yes.
And that is why Jake got the position as director.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful, guys?
All you need to do is win an important game of Gaga ball.
I have
Yes.
a question. If Jake won, why can't it be in Camp Roger and not Camp Jake?
That's the only way we can keep Roger away. So, as we said earlier, you might hear Roger rustling around in the bushes, but he won't come into camp as long as it's named Camp Roger.
Okay, okay.
Exactly. Everyone applaud. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure teaching you the very true history of Camp Roger.
Yay!
And you're free to go.
Roger and what army?
Ha.